going, man?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Lwazi Msipha in 2021 from his back room in Dawn Park, living his dream of creating animated characters.
I used to watch Dragon Ball Z and, a lot of TV shows, which inspired me. So I was inspired by that and I was like, this is what I want to do.
There we go.
Where does she work, at Bara?
From dreaming about it to being about it, the young man quit his job to focus on his passion. He created Nurse Thandi, a character that he made come to life on TikTok.
Yo and a valley.
During the COVID-19 pandemic, Nurse Thandi's popularity peaked. Msipha used the platform to educate people about the pandemic through skits, with a little humor added.
How? And then? You've got the virus. Yeah, I know, but I want to test. Test for what? You have it. Go isolate. Hamba.
Msipha once bumped into his dream employer, Cartoon Network, at a film festival in 2018. And then, in 2019, they gave him the call of his wildest dreams, asking him to create his own cartoon series from scratch.
When Lwazi's creation comes to life, he finds himself...
What did you put in these?
Well...
oh, this is too easy.
Stuck with a very unusual friend.
Hey, don't leave me. I got an email from them. They said, listen, we remember that you can do some animation. Can you do something for us to inspire the kids and, just show them that in this time, we are thinking about them.
And so the work began to create My Cartoon Friend. Msipha created the characters, wrote the scripts, and did the voiceover all from here. The result, a day in the life of him and his cartoon friend, Themba.
The storyline is just adventures, it's just the misadventures that I have with the cartoon character and, showing people how it would be like living with a cartoon, the interactions we'd have, the dynamics of how a cartoon would live in the real world, and understanding that in the real world and the cartoon world, there's two different things. Watching it, actually seeing the Cartoon Network logo on the corner and my face appearing on that TV, it's really amazing.
Don't leave me!
Ah, come on!
Can he and Themba ever get along?
No.
Despite their differences.
Wait. Do I really smell like feet?
Yeah, you kind of do.
Because I've always wanted to be on the credits of a Cartoon Network show, but I never thought I'd actually be a whole creator of a show.
My Cartoon Friend is also a South African Television Award-winning show.
Wow, this is really amazing. Kids of South Africa, it gives them hope that, if they study animation, they too can get on Cartoon Network. And I guess when they see a show strictly from South Africa on Cartoon Network, they get excited by that and they get inspired by that, because usually the shows are international and exported. So, it's a breath of fresh air for me.
Fast forward to today, Msipha is well on his way to becoming a household name in animation. Netflix saw something in the young man and sent him abroad to study his master's in animation.
An interesting journey. I mean, the last time we spoke, I had just quit my job. So I was just taking this unfamiliar territory step of, I don't know what to do, but I really trusted my instincts and I trusted that my ideas are going to take me forward. There's a lot that has progressed in these past 3 years, actually, because I managed to move to Paris to study animation at the animation school. It's one of the best animation schools in the world, actually.
With studying abroad comes adventure and exploring.
This is my first...
No, you have to say your name.
No. Hi, I'm Lwazi. Hi, I'm Lwazi. This is Sprite.
Msipha graduated in 2023 and is undoubtedly super proud of his achievement. He's described the experience in his own words as eye-opening.
It was quite an experience. It's an experience that you would never experience anywhere else. I mean, the skills when you get to France, let's just start there, in terms of animation, is amazing. A lot of people here are very talented, but also, the school itself, the skills, the level that it teaches is far beyond what you can get anywhere else in the world. And it's been a good experience. I graduated last year with an amazing film, and I've managed to travel a bit around Europe because of that film. And yeah, I'm still doing a little bit of traveling. Yeah.
He's now working on the expansion of his creations, just from a room in Paris this time.
Oh wow! I mean, if you can see where I started, just at the back room. And to be fair, nothing much has changed in terms of the setup. I'm still working with the laptop and a screen. TV. But you're able to create amazing stuff, and this is the great thing about the type of industry I'm in. You don't have to have very big, high level productions to get started. And yeah, but since then, obviously I was working at the back room, and now I'm in Paris, just getting inspiration from France. It's been quite a nice journey, an interesting journey, and it's nice to see the growth from where you started and seeing how you're progressing into future.
He says he's also using the time to soak in as much as he can from the home of Disneyland Park and Walt Disney Studios. And of course, the goal is to share all with Mzansi.
The way they handle animation, in terms of the quality, this is what I've learned from them. Their quality is absolutely amazing in terms of the technical aspect, and then bring all of that knowledge back into South Africa and feed into the animation industry in South Africa and to grow the industry as a whole.
Speaking of enriching the South African animation industry, the 30-year-old says he's cooking something fresh to hit our screens in the very near future.
So before I left South Africa to come to Paris, I was working on my own project. I started with a cartoon character, actually, if you can see there, Nurse Tandy. It was a social media sensation. A lot of people loved the social media character. So now I'm working on creating an actual series, just to have our own South African version of, like people say, the Boondocks or something like that, or Family Guy. So I want to create a South African animated series using Nurse Tandy, just to speak on South African topics and more relatable to South African audiences, so that South Africans can enjoy their own cartoon that speaks their language.
Hey yo, guess what I just picked up from the airport, y'all? Say hi.
Hi, Manuel Papa, yes. Hi.
So how was your trip? Did you have fun?
It was fun, Shem. Yes, I enjoyed. Ngiyabuyela futhi mantent.
So a lot of people have been asking me in the comments. They were saying, well, when are you coming back? They miss you. When are you going back to work?
Yeah? When am I going back to work? Hayi nangiphaphela. Hayi ningijwayela kabi. I haven't even switched on my geyser. I haven't unpacked. When am I going back to work?
Hey, you see, guys, you see what you've done.
Of course, Nurse Tandy is already a character that people have loved on social media. And I was like, we don't have a lot of South African animated shows that speak on South African topics. And what more than creating something that people already love and just bringing it to their screens? So this is what I'm doing. I've got assistance from the government, actually, from NFVF, to actually develop this project. And, the South African government has been quite helpful. I think they are also as enthusiastic as I am to have a South African animated show. So right now we're still in the development phase, we're in the writing phase, doing a lot of research, seeing what South Africans like or what they would love to see. But yeah, it's coming very soon.
Taking a bold step into the unknown at the tender age of 27, the young man says his aim was to grab every opportunity that came his way. And from being a solo machine, he's now an employer.
So, of course, I took the step and the leap of faith, and I jumped into this space. And I was able to create characters that people resonate with. So within that space, speaking on how I managed to maybe get money to grow this business is while I was in this TikTok space, I had people who wanted me to do animation for them. I had companies who wanted to reach out to their online audiences, but the best way to do it is in an animation space. So they contacted me, and that's how I was able to make a bit of a living out of it. And then obviously with partnerships, you try to get partnerships to fund you. Like I said, I had funding from the government to create this series. And this is how I'm able to also employ and get people on board. So yeah, this is basically how you do it. You know, you start small, you start with what you have, and you just trust the process as you go along. And this is what I did.
He has this sage advice for dreamers who have long been pondering on pursuing their passions.
I always encourage leaps of faith, and you know, obviously the results might not be the same for everyone, but if you're young, you know, there's a lot to look forward to, and one thing you do not want is regret. Like, what could have been? Why, if I didn't take this opportunity, what could have been? So I'm saying always take a leap of faith. The universe, or you know, if you're religious, God, it has a way of sort of catching you or meeting you halfway. And just try it. Take that step. You'll understand that you're going to be met halfway. And this was my experience as well. I was met halfway. I took this leap of faith. And one thing that I really, you know, go by is that if every day you're thinking about this thing, then it's something that you should chase. For me, I was thinking about it every day. While I was working, you know, at my job, I was thinking about I need to quit and do this thing for myself and create this product for myself. And it's something that was haunting me every single day. So it was inevitable for me to actually take this leap of faith. It's like, you know, it was a matter of time, and it actually worked out. Like, it's not like when I quit my job, I had everything planned out. I just took the leap of faith, but I believed in the fact that I'm going to be successful. And that's the huge part of it. If you believe in yourself and always betting on yourself.
He believes it's important to make the most of every opportunity in pursuit of doing what you love.
The young people, do it. Whatever you're thinking about, do it. Just to add to that, we live in a different space compared to the past. You know, it's no longer you have to be a doctor, you have to be a nurse and all these things. You can make money from social media, from YouTube, from TikTok. You can actually market yourself through these social media spaces, and there's a lot of opportunities out there. And I think you need to take this leap of faith, focus on your talent. Who knows where it'll take you? I mean, look where it took me.
He also believes that it's important for young people to see stories like this in the news, adding that he is ready to plow back.
I think it's very important what you're doing, you know, this interview, and giving people a chance to know that there are some opportunities in animation. I mean, the last interview we had, after that interview, I had a lot of calls from parents and people who were like, look, my son has been interested in animation, but I didn't know it was possible to make a career out of it. Can you speak to my son, or can you speak to my child and give them motivation? And, you know, it wasn't me. It was literally you and your platform. And I think the role you play also is very important, and reaching out to us. And, you know, for us, I think we were willing to tell the story and tell our stories. So yeah, it's possible. At the end of the day, it's possible. I mean, if you look at me as a reference, it's very much possible. And just go ahead and do it. And I'm here. I'm always open on my DMs. I'm very open. You can ask me anything. I'll answer it. Yeah, just go for it. I'll be here to help you. It's not an easy step, and it's not a step that South Africans are familiar with. That's why I think it's a pivotal role that I will play in helping and being supportive as well. Yeah, I mean, I would also like to thank you guys at Newzroom Afrika. Definitely, you know, you're an important figure to our generations, and bringing out news like this, it's very inspirational. I can imagine a younger version of me seeing this on TV and just getting inspired, like, wow, it's really possible. You know, it would have gotten me out of bed immediately and just continue drawing and be like, you know, one day I can end up in Paris, one day I can end up in the best school in the world. So, you know, very grateful for Newzroom Africa. I'm grateful for you bringing meaningful news to the world.
His mother has been the biggest cheerleader of her son, making the most of his talent.
I've always encouraged him ever since he was young that he should do what he loves. He should follow his passion.
Absolutely grateful. I'm grateful because you hardly get, and I understand, our parents tend to be scared because they're from a different period of time. So when you start venturing into things like animation and things that they're not familiar with, they get nervous. So I'm grateful to have a parent who trusted the vision and actually was the one that led me into this vision. I mean, I've said it last time that when I was trying to study, she was the one that was like, look, you have a talent in animation and art. You should be going into this field. This is what you're going to be doing. And she took that step for me, and look where it has led me. So I would like to say I'm super grateful, and I'm very thankful that, she played this pivotal role, and my parents played this pivotal role in supporting me and being with me in every step. I am very grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much for believing in me. I appreciate it so much. And look where it's led me. And we're not even done yet. We're not even done. We're going even further up. And I appreciate the support, and I love you so much.
Msipha is determined to engrave his name in animation history books.
Anybody want to know what I would do if I didn't win? I guess we'll never know.
And the show that I've created for Cartoon Network called My Cartoon Friend is still playing, it's been playing for the past 3 years, actually. We were trying to work on a season 2 of the show. We're still in communication with them. We have a very good relationship with them. So we're trying to figure out how to work with season 2, because you don't want people to see the same thing over and over again. You want a fresh, new perspective. And since I'm coming with this new set of skills that I've gained from Gobelin in Paris, I think I could have a fresh take and just make it an amazing show.
And what an inspiring journey it has been, all born of a dream, fueled by a passion to make an impact.
Why is she's Captain Sakho ngaphandle? Lunchbox? No, that's my car, the Bajaj. Spare Jeje? What kind of car is that, man? Well, it's a cheap car and it's cheap on the petrol, so...
I think it's important to actually take time to reflect, because when you're in this moment and maybe you've been living in Paris for the past 2 years, you kind of forget that. And I think it's important to remember. And now that I think about it, I didn't think I would get to this point. I never thought so. I mean, the moment I quit my job, I thought, I would just be making these cartoons online and that would be it. I didn't think it would get this far. So each time it catches me by surprise. And I'm just grateful for it. My hopes and dreams, and this is something I've had since I was young, is to create a big animation industry, to have a huge animation property, like I was saying, like the Boondocks, like Rick and Morty, or all these other properties. I want to create something that is generational, that people will look back into and be like, yo, we had this cartoon in South Africa and it kind of changed our lives. I really want it to be as big as Dragon Ball Z, like the cartoons that inspired me. So it's literally that, that's the thing that's running on my mind right now constantly, is that I need to create this big animation industry, number one, but also just to have this property that just transcends all. We had for the older audiences, like generations. So for me, for the younger audiences, I want them to have their own animated show, which is as powerful as Generations is.
Nurse Thandi is also on her way to being a household brand.
It's a tote bag.
It's even got a bag.
Even got a bag.
Are you selling those things in Paris?
I'm selling them in South Africa. Because Paris, they don't necessarily know Nurse Thandi that much.
Yeah.
Also have the keyring.
Okay. Which one? Oh, perfect. Those tote bags are international.
The international, yeah, maybe I should consider.
Courage, ambition, and just a man who wants to create something big out of his childhood dream. For Newzroom Afrika on channel 405, I'm Zikhona Tshona in Johannesburg.